As a kind of final question, because I know we're coming to time, we've had a question come in from Susan on Facebook, and she says, a lot is going to happen politically over the next 2 weeks. In Jonathan's opinion, what's the best case scenario and the worst case scenario for our economy? Before I let you kind of jump in there, just to say, I think lots of different people probably have different opinions around this, and there's lots of kind of subjective analysis, but I think we're very keen to hear your best guess at it.
Well, I mean, I have no idea any more than anyone else what on earth is going to happen politically over the next 2 weeks. There are a bunch of different scenarios. And I should also say that we are, in UK and Changing Europe, are strictly neutral on the question of Brexit itself. We are a bunch of academics who are, in fact, being paid by all of you out there, taxpayers, indirectly, to provide unbiased research and analysis.
Through the Economic and Social Research Council that houses UK and a Changing Europe.
So I'm not going to take sides. I would say, though, that the government's analysis yesterday showed clearly, and this is consistent with what the vast majority of economists think, that from a purely economic perspective, and Philip Hammond made this point himself, that that the economics is clear, but it's not just about economics. But that from a purely economic perspective, remaining in the EU is the best outcome for the UK economy. Some sort of very soft Brexit, where we stay in the single market, as in sometimes called the Norway option, is the second best, because there we still leave the EU, but very little changes actually in practical terms for the UK economy. Then you have some version of Theresa May's Brexit plan, which does somewhat more damage, but still not the end of the world. And then the worst outcome would be some form of no deal or chaotic Brexit. So that's what
your kind of ranking of the scenarios.
That's my ranking, but it's also the government's own ranking. Not what they want to happen, but it's their own ranking of the economic impacts of Brexit, and it's the ranking that most economists out there would agree. Because basically, the bottom line is, to abstract from all the economic models, that making your country less open to trade and migration will make you somewhat poorer. And given that the EU is our largest trading partner, at the moment we're in this single market, that means that there's totally frictionless trade with the EU. Anything that moves away from that is going to make us somewhat poorer, and moving a long way away from that will make us even poorer. Staying relatively close won't do as much damage.
Well, that's a really good question for us to finish on, and thank you for kind of sharing your perspective on those different scenarios, but as you say, the government's official perspective too. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for coming along and answering our questions today. We really appreciate it. It's helping shine a light on some of the kind of very big headlines that we're seeing at the moment. Thanks very much to everyone watching, and thank you for your questions. Next Tuesday, be sure to tune in when we'll be joined by Professor Jean McHale to discuss the impact of Brexit on the NHS. Until then, take care.